Welcome to Candleside Gaslighting,
where lying is encouraged and the truth is confusing.
I'm your host, Shakota.
And I'm your co-host, Josh. And we're here to detect any lie that could be told to us.
Today we will be listening and questioning 3 different stories, 2 real and 1 fake. Then we will use our detective skills to discover the lie.
So light your favorite candle
and join us by the candleside for a journey of fact and fiction. Hey guys, so for today's episode, I have Josh here hosting with me because we have a special guest with us here today, my dad, Joe.
Today he will be telling us 3 different stories, and together we are going to try to figure out which story he is trying to gaslight us with.
But before we get started, we just want to remind you that we will still have our Google form linked for future episodes, so if you haven't already given us a story, or if you would like to send in one, these stories can be completely anonymous, so you don't need to worry about that. We won't be using the form for every episode, but we will be leaving it up for special episodes, so we do still encourage you to send in those suggestions. So, Dad actually brought his own candle. It's coffee scented. Is it mocha? Do you know? It smells chocolatey.
I don't know. It's coffee. It smells good.
No. Yeah, Javen's friend Haley made it for you, right?
Yep.
So shout out to Haley for making this candle. But yeah, this is our candle for the day. Why don't you go ahead and you can go ahead and comment your candle for the day too. That would be fun. That could be something interesting. We'd like to hear what kind of candles that you guys like to light when you listen to our podcast.
Or maybe what we should pick up.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions, I like to buy candles, so we can add more into our collection. But yeah.
I like candles.
So, we know your name is Joe, but tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I go to work, I come home, and I go to work, and I come home. That's it.
What's your favorite TV show you're watching right now?
I like woodworking as a hobby. Right now, my favorite show, I don't know. I'm watching Fresh Off the Boat because it's funny.
What's the best show you've ever watched?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Good question. Star Trek?
Yep. Okay.
All things Star Trek. All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Every single one of them's the best?
Enterprise is probably my favorite set, but I like all of them.
So now that I guess we got everything ready, we'll go ahead and get into our first story. So you can go ahead and start whichever story that you brought that you would like to start with.
Well, how about if we start chronologically?
Okay.
So we'll start when I was very young. First, you have to know that back when I was young, I was in church a lot, and the parents of the kids in the church would sometimes take groups of us to go do things. Mm-hmm. And one time my mom was taking us out, and it was a couple hours away where we were going, and we stopped at a gas station on the way to get snacks and, you know, what you do at gas stations. And on the way out, she gets in the car and says, "Everyone here?" Of course, they all say, "Yes, we're all here." And no one realized I wasn't there. And so they get down the road quite a ways, and I'm freaking out, crying, snot bubbles, everything, you know, like kids do. And luckily there was a nice couple that stopped and waited with me, and there was no cell phones. So she just had to realize I wasn't there and come back. So after an hour or so, I'm sitting there crying with these people waiting with me, and it was pretty traumatic. Yeah, so
that's that story. So
yep.
How old were you when that happened?
I was probably about 6 years old, probably.
Really? So
young enough that it was.
So you were there
horrible.
For like an hour by yourself?
Yeah,
with that couple.
Yeah, I think his name was Bill. I don't remember her name.
Why do you remember Bill?
It's Bill. How hard is Bill? It's easy to remember.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, that's one story.
All right. So what do you think about it?
I believe that's totally believable to me.
You think the snot bubbles and everything?
Oh man, it was a mess.
I mean, I've had a similar experience, so I kind of know that I wouldn't say like an hour though, but similar.
It was a pretty good little day trip.
Oh my gosh, it was a while. It was more than an hour?
It was at least an hour. I mean, I was young, so I didn't sit there and time it, but You know.
So it could have been shorter, too.
It could have been, but it felt like forever.
Yeah.
Was it... Didn't you say you got left in a Target or something?
In the mall.
Oh, in the mall?
Yeah.
Rough.
All right, we'll go ahead and go on to the next story. Since this is chronologically.
Okay.
This part.
Well, this one, I was probably 8 or 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotten my first survival knife, you know, like Rambo had.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was so cool. And logically, for an 8 or 9 year old, my best thing to do was break into my school with it. So I went to school with a knife, you know, big knife. And it was summertime, so it was closed.
And how old were you here?
About 8 or 9.
8 or 9, okay.
Somewhere in there. And our school was made where it was like California, so outdoors in the hallways, you know. But they had fences around it. So I climbed the fence and got on the hallway roof where there was a metal grate. And I used my knife to pop the grate and got in school. Spent quite a while in there for no reason at all.
I was going to say, why would you break into school?
I don't know. Like I said, you know, 8, 9 years old, that's made sense to me. So I'm in the school for a while, then I climb out and I leave. But that was what I chose to do with my new
with your new knife.
Survival knife. And
did they ever catch you? You just
no. I mean, I thought I was doing something big. You know, I was like an outlaw, but
nobody cared.
Nobody even knew I was there. So,
so was it a weekend?
Yeah, it was the summer. I was off.
Oh, it was the summer.
Yeah,
No.
it would have even been more interesting if it was during school year, but no, it was the summer. I thought I was doing big things, but I was just walking around at school and time off, I guess.
So is the school like close to where you lived?
Yeah, it was about 2 blocks away.
So you were just allowed to walk around at like 8 years old and with a knife?
Yep.
What
It was frowned upon, but it wasn't concealed, so it wasn't illegal.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
You can't do that now, though.
If it's
right?
not, I don't know
I
about
don't know.
here, but in California, if it's not a concealed weapon, you can technically have it.
Huh.
If it's concealed, you're only allowed a 4-inch blade.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable, like, my child running around with a
Can't say
knife.
that they knew that I was running around outdoors with it, but I don't remember that much detail. So
Were they just not home, and you were just like, let's go break into
in
a school
summertime,
together?
It was one of the rare summers I was home with my mom, and she worked a lot. So usually I was with my dad during the summer. So yeah.
You didn't even have a friend that broke in with you? So,
Nope.
Dang, that's not even as fun.
No, that's what I said. And it didn't make any sense at all.
I mean, if I feel like I have all the facts there. Like, this is straightforward.
You're so
really,
bad at this.
You're really concise, though. He's a really concise storyteller.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell.
Well, that makes this interesting.
I haven't gotten one wrong yet, so...
Well, let it be known. Today's the day, I think.
Really?
Well, we still have one more story to hear.
Hey guys, so we just wanted to interrupt to talk to you guys about something that we are very excited about.
For all you Marvel fans out there, we are excited to say that Spider-Man No Way Home is now available on Amazon in both digital and physical formats.
We saw this movie twice when it came out, and we couldn't wait for it to finally be available to buy.
So if you haven't seen it yet, or just want to own a copy, it would help both us and Amazon out if you bought through one of our links. All you have to do is click our link and add the movie into your cart.
You can also do any other shopping that you may need to get done under our link, and that will also help us out.
We hope you enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home as much as we did.
You are listening to Candleside Gaslighting, where you journey through fact and fiction.
All right, so do you want to go ahead and do your last story already?
Sure, if you want to. Well, my last story, I was a little older, so I might remember a little more about it. I was probably, I don't know, 13, maybe a little younger. And I was staying in West Sacramento, which was a really bad gang area in California, living in an apartment building. And me and my brother were out hanging out in the courtyard of the apartments. And early in the day, we'd seen a couple guys get into a fight. I'm guessing somebody didn't pay their debt, and one guy took off, and then we went through the day, and later in the day, that other guy came back and shot him right in the back of the head. He's probably about 10 feet from me, and I seen his head blow off in the front and everything because he put it right to the back of his head. And of course, what was I going to do? We freaked out and ran to our apartment and hid out for a while because it was pretty bad. But yeah, there was people standing out there, and he just walked up and shot him.
And it was like, did you say it was outside of your apartment?
Yeah, the apartments were built with like a central area. It was kind of like a block, a square, and in the center there was area where you could go. It's like grass and sidewalks,
Mm-hmm. And then, so you might have already said this. So you were out walking, and that's what you were just walking around.
We used to just hang out in the courtyard,
Oh, so was it like
better to do?
Like a park area in the apartment, kind of like in like Karate Kid, where they have like the pool in the center. Is it like that?
Sort of like that. I don't think ours had a pool, but yeah.
But like the area where people hang out in between, like there's stairs or however.
Yeah, it's a big grassy area, and on the outside was like a sidewalk, and there were stairs that would go upstairs and the bottom apartments.
Okay. And then they were that happened at the apartments or like down the street?
Just right in
the courtyard?
Courtyard.
At the apartment building.
Yeah.
And then you guys didn't do anything about it? You didn't call it in or anything?
We cut out of there.
You were like, we're just going to leave?
We got out. Did
they know you were
scary.
there?
Yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't like go after you or anything for seeing it?
Didn't care at all. He just shot that guy and walked off.
I mean, it's California, so that honestly,
well, not everywhere out there's like that, but that's particularly bad.
You said West Sacramento.
Yeah, West Sacramento is really bad.
Well, I know you've told me before that you've seen guns pulled on people.
Yeah, well, seen lots of stuff, so.
Yeah.
The way you have details, like, it's hard to know which one's fake. I have no idea.
I mean, are we going to do what we think right now?
No, I'm just thinking what you think about this one. You think this one's real?
I'm not sure. I don't know, though. I mean, any of these I think could be real.
Or I think parts of them are regardless. Like,
I can tell you more about the apartments if you want. I can tell you more stories there. I've seen lots of stuff while I lived there.
Really?
That's probably one of the worst things, but yeah.
Oh, I would imagine so.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. So, did you have like crazy neighbors and hear things a lot?
They all were. There was a lady got a bullet through her foot because someone underneath in the bottom apartment got in an argument and was shooting, and it went to the floor.
My God.
Stuff like that happened a lot. So, drug dealers and users all over the place all the time. So
it just wasn't safe. That's why they were really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like Skid Row type vibes.
Yeah, really bad.
I'm sure you've been over there before, right?
Yeah, some of those stairways and stuff, there was guys shooting up, and you'd see them all the time just out of it. So it was bad. It was a bad neighborhood.
And you weren't there for very long, right?
No, probably less than a year.
Did you say it was like a drug deal that was happening outside when that happened?
Yeah.
Or
we didn't know for sure, but it looked like they were fighting over maybe he didn't pay him or something.
I mean, that happens all the time, and they can make it look like that never happened.
Yeah, so that was what we guessed. I mean, that happened a lot. People didn't get paid, and they come and
just get rid of them.
So I guess my question would be, where did you run to?
Our apartment.
No.
Our apartment.
Because it was in the courtyard, is what he said.
Our apartment was probably, I don't know, 30 yards from there on the bottom. So we just ran and got inside. And
that makes sense.
I just think it's weird that he didn't care that you guys were there. That's weird to me.
There was other people out there that didn't even seem like they even were scared. They just kept doing what they were doing. So
it was like, oh, that's weird.
I grew up in a house where that was a shock. So
yeah,
when that was that year and a half out of my life was like
so the
shock.
year before that you were in Escondido. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I guess Josh and I are going to try to figure out which one is the lie because
What is it?
I think you're gaslighting us and they're all true.
No. But I will tell you that the lie has a thread of truth in it.
Okay.
So it's not a complete lie, but
Okay. What do you think? I think it's the first one.
You think it's the first one?
Yeah.
The other two are lies?
I think the...
Wait, the first one's a lie and the other two are truths.
Yes. I think
Okay.
I think maybe the couple didn't stay with him the whole time. I think maybe he got left, or maybe it wasn't that long.
I don't know.
I mean, you did a really good job at telling these stories, but so I'm kind of confused too.
That's the one that stood out to me the most, but also, I don't know, the last one's so crazy that I think it's real. What do you think?
Yeah, that's true too, bro. I mean, there's a thread of truth in the lie.
So it could also be the last one, because like the apartments he did live in. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe the gun wasn't fired.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking originally, but then I don't know. I think I'll go with that. I think the last one.
Is that what you want to stick with?
I think so.
What was the middle one again? What was
That was when I got my first.
Oh, the sorting you
And
broke
I
into
broke into
school.
school, yeah.
I think
That's
that one's
believable.
real. I really do. That's some.
You know me.
That's some shit
you know me
Javen
well
would
enough.
do. Yeah, that's
You-
some shit Javen would do.
It's like why? Why is school?
Why? No, why? Yeah, no, I think that one's.
that
I
one's
think
real.
that one's real for sure. So that's between the first one and the last one. I think.
Yeah.
What you for sure think it's the last one?
Well, that's mine, and then yours is the first one. So
Yeah,
we'll
but
see
no,
which
we
one of us
we
is
have
right.
to. No, we have to agree.
Who said?
We have to agree on it.
No.
Yeah, we do.
We don't agree on
yeah,
anything.
because I think it could be the last one as well. I don't know. That's why it's like
Well, I mean,
talk about it more.
I mean, I've had a situation similar to the first one. I just don't know.
I don't know about the couple. That's the only thing that was like weird to me. Because like, no offense.
Well, you gotta consider that back in those days, it was more that happened more. People were nicer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, especially since there's no way to like contact them immediately. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess you're right, because like if I were like, I don't know, that little now, and somebody left me on the side of the road, nobody would stop. They'd probably hit me with their car on
Nowadays
purpose.
they might not, but you would probably go in and sit with the person in the store
At the store
now.
Yeah.
But back then things were different.
Yeah, to me, the first one just checked out. It just made sense to me.
But don't let me veer you away from anything, because I'm just pointing out that back then things like that happened more.
Okay, so why do you think it's the last one again? You kind of made me
I think
not
that
think it's that one.
Well, don't listen to me. I'm just giving you all the facts.
Facts.
No, it is facts. Back in those days, especially even if they knew who you were, they would drive you home.
Did they know who you were?
No, but I'm just saying that people were just more apt to watch out for a kid back then. With the exception of the couple of creeps that were just creeps. They're always been around. But
Okay. So why do you think it's the last one? Because you think the gun wasn't fired?
I think the situation happened, but the gun wasn't fired. I think that's what I want to say. But I mean, you don't have to.
Well, then why would they have ran? Just because of the gun?
Well, that's an intense situation. A gun's being pulled. You see a gun.
to be fair, I probably would have run if I seen a gun anyway back then.
Yeah.
So, or at least got on the ground or something and tried to hide. You know.
Okay.
So he's not wrong there. If someone pulls a gun, I'm not sticking around.
What about now?
It depends. Situational.
I think I'll agree with you. Just because of the fact that he just gave.
Well, I'm just giving you facts.
Yeah, he's just
It's up
he's
to
just
you to
telling us the
decide.
truth. He's just telling us real life facts.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that one. So we think that the gun was pulled but not fired.
Are you sure? You gonna go with that?
Oh my god!
He's really good at gaslighting.
I don't know. I haven't gotten one wrong yet, and I kind of don't want to get it wrong. Of course, I knew it would be you, though. I knew it would be you.
Why? I don't tell stories that good.
No, but you're good at lying.
Who says? That's not a good character trait. Thanks a lot.
You taught me how to lie. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I was just joking. You're good at white lies. You're good at sarcasm lies.
So you're going to stick with the last one or the first one?
The last one.
Okay. Well, the last one was 100% true.
Which one?
Every bit of it. The first one did happen, but it wasn't me. It was my brother.
I was right the first time.
Lewis got left at a gas station on a family vacation, and all of his brothers and sisters were in the car, and they said, "Is everyone in here?" And they all said, "Yeah."
You know
and
what?
They
I'm
took
mad.
off on the way to Yellowstone.
I'm mad because you've told me that before.
I know.
So I was technically right the first time. I should have stuck with it.
See,
snot
if we would
bubbles
have had
and
our
the
different
tears.
opinions, you would have been right.
Well, I still wouldn't have been right because that's not what I said was not right about it. I was still technically wrong, but I did think the first one was a little.
It happened, and I wasn't even there at the time. I don't think it was before me. But
So you just heard it.
I've heard the story. Yeah.
I think he even told us the story. I think Lewis told us the story.
And yes, I believe I heard the snot bubbles and the tears and all that were there too. So
So it happened, but not to you. So
not to me.
You made it sound really like it happened to you. Good job. Okay, yeah, Lewis has told us that story before.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well,
Well, your first
How you
guess was
feel?
right anyway.
dang. We shouldn't co-host together.
How you feel?
I'm kind of mad.
Well,
No, it's fun though. I thought it was interesting. Learn a little bit of something. You haven't gotten left anywhere before though, because I feel like you have.
I have lost myself a time or two.
What's
When
that
I was-
supposed to mean?
Do you remember big wheels, the little 3-wheel plastic things? I used to have one of those.
Mhm.
And I took off around the block one time and I got lost going around the block. I was really little. And I ended up walking into an apartment that wasn't mine. And
Oh my god!
they knew who I was and where I was from, so they made sure I got home. But it was like I was freaking out then. So
So that's the only time you can think of you never left anywhere? I don't think you guys ever left me, so good
I
job.
don't think so, but I was the youngest, so by the time I got there, they had all their practice in.
But thank you for coming on and telling us their stories. You should feel honored
I do.
because they can never get me when they're trying to gaslight me.
well, I took my story from Reddit, so
Yeah, it was a good one, but
It was a good story, but it's obviously not real. So.
it had a ring of like urban legend to it. So
I'm ready for a full Reddit episode. That'll be fun.
That would be hard, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be harder because they all would be.
because they're all going to be outlandish.
Yeah.
But if you want something more out there, I have other stories that have happened to me. Sometime I'll tell you those.
Yeah, we can do it again if you want to.
But
But yeah, once again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, and I think we enjoyed your stories.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm kind of sad I didn't get it.
anytime.
I'm
It might
easy
not
to
have
get
been
gas.
exciting, but
Yeah, Josh will believe anything. So
I'm easy to get gaslit, so
you were almost
check
Two-
back in when I'm host, because it's gonna be a ride.
you were almost too certain about the first one being real too, because you're like, well, that happened to me.
well,
What?
It did happen.
it's not exciting, but maybe harder to guess. You know.
Yeah, the simple ones are hard to guess, and also you're just good at lying. Apparently,
I am not. Bring it up again.
you're good at telling stories in perspective. That's better way to put it, I guess.
Yeah, bringing you into my reality.
Hell. Okay, anyways, thank you for tuning in to Candleside Gaslighting with your host Shakota.
Your co-host Josh.
We have a new episode up every other Friday, and you can find us on Spotify under Candleside Gaslighting and on YouTube under Foresight Films. We're also up now on Apple Podcasts. We just got up on Amazon Music, and we are up on Google Podcasts as well, but those normally don't process until a day later. So you may not be able to view on Google until Friday or until Saturday. We're also on Anchor FM. I did a search on that recently, so it does come up in the app now. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
I'm gonna make a subreddit soon.
We'll have a Reddit. And go to our Patreon. It's only $5 a month for the bottom tier, but you get a bunch of benefits with it. I think Josh set up the Discord.
Yeah, you'll automatically be able to join our Discord for a community server. And if you're at that $5 a month level, you'll get access to some of the channels and see kind of like how we work with each other for those of us that don't live near each other. But once again, this has been Candleside Gaslighting, where lying is encouraged and the truth is confusing. Don't forget to blow out your candle.
Do you want to blow out your candle?